How did you realize your child's teacher was deliberately traumatizing them? I found the drawings hidden under my daughter's bed while looking for her missing library book. 6 pieces of paper covered in black crayon so thick the wax had built up in layers. Each drawing showed the same thing. A small figure with yellow hair cowering in a corner, while a tall figure with dark hair loomed over it holding what looked like scissors. The tall figure had a red slash for a mouth and empty circles for eyes. At the bottom of each page, my 7-year-old daughter Iris had written the same words over and over. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. My hands started shaking as I flipped through the drawings. Iris had always loved art, and her pictures were usually full of rainbows and flowers and our dog Max. These drawings were different, dark and repetitive and terrifying. I called for Iris and she appeared in the doorway of her room. Her face went white when she saw what I was holding. She said, "Please don't show Ms. Novak," in a voice so small I barely heard it. I asked who Ms. Novak was, and Iris said my teacher. I knelt down and asked why she didn't want me to show her teacher. Iris started crying and said, "Because then she'll know I told and she'll be more mad." I pulled Iris into my arms and felt her whole body shaking. I asked what Ms. Novak would be mad about, and Iris whispered that she'd been bad at school. I said everyone makes mistakes, and teachers don't get mad about that. Iris pulled back and looked at me with tears running down her face. She said, "You don't understand. Ms. Novak says I'm the worst student she's ever had." I felt ice run through my veins. I asked Iris what exactly Ms. Novak had said to her. Iris wouldn't look at me. She stared at the floor and said Ms. Novak tells her every day that she's stupid and slow and will never learn anything, that she wastes everyone's time by being in the class, that the other kids would learn better if Iris wasn't there taking up space. I asked how long this had been going on, and Iris said since the first week of school. It was now October. My daughter had been enduring this for 2 months. I asked why she hadn't told me sooner, and Iris said Ms. Novak told her that if she tattled to her parents, she would make things worse, that she would call me in for a meeting and tell me how bad Iris was, and then I'd be disappointed in her too. I held Iris and told her she was brilliant and kind and perfect, and that I was calling the school immediately. Iris grabbed my arm and begged me not to. She said Ms. Novak would know she told. I promised I wouldn't mention the drawings or anything Iris said. I would just ask for a meeting to discuss her progress. Iris looked unconvinced but nodded. I called the school office and asked to schedule a meeting with Ms. Novak and the principal. The secretary said she'd check their calendars and call me back. That evening, I showed my husband Trevor the drawings. He stared at them for a long time without speaking. Finally, he said, "This is abuse." I said, "I know." Trevor asked if I thought there was any chance Iris was exaggerating or misunderstanding. I said, "You saw her face when I found these. She's terrified." Trevor agreed we needed to handle this carefully. We couldn't just accuse a teacher without evidence beyond Iris's account. I said that's why I asked for a meeting. We'd assess Ms. Novak's demeanor and see if she revealed anything. Trevor said he wanted to come to the meeting too. The school called back the next morning and scheduled us for Friday afternoon, 3 days away. I asked if anything sooner was available, and the secretary said no. Both Ms. Novak and Principal Hayes had packed schedules. I said fine and hung up. Those 3 days felt like an eternity. I watched Iris carefully each morning before school. She moved slowly getting ready and barely touched her breakfast. Each day when I dropped her off at the classroom door, she hesitated before going in. I noticed Ms. Novak standing at the front of the room watching. She was a woman in her 50s with sharp features and gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. She never smiled. On Thursday, I decided to observe pickup more carefully. I arrived 15 minutes early and positioned myself where I could see into the classroom window. Ms. Novak was at the front teaching something on the board. Most kids were watching, but a few were distracted. I saw Iris sitting in the back row staring at her desk. Ms. Novak suddenly stopped teaching and walked directly to Iris. I couldn't hear what was said, but I saw Ms. Novak lean down and speak directly into Iris's face. What happened next shocked me. To see the full story, click the link below or go on my channel.